Now we're moving to the interest part of afternoon session today. I would like to introduce Mrs. Ying Ngo, Head of Solutions Facebook Vietnam, and Mrs. Tâm Nguyen, Head of Media and Digital Services at Nutrition International, with the topic Brand plus Commerce, Maximize the Mix.
Good afternoon. Welcome to MMA Impact Vietnam 2021. My name is Yen Ngo, Head of Solutions for Facebook Vietnam. And today I'm very pleased to have Ms. Tâm Nguyen, Head of Digital and Media Services from Abbott Nutrition International, joining me today to talk about an important topics for marketers and advertisers these days, how to maximize the mix between brand and commerce investment.
Hello, Ian. Thank you for the introduction. And hello, everyone, to join MMA Impact today. My name is Tâm, and I've been a very loyal audience of MMA for so many years. And today is my privilege to be here, to share with you some of the experience.
Thank you, Chị Tâm, for joining me today. And today's conversation with Chị Tâm, we hope to be able to explore these 4 questions that are on the screen right now to know more about how Abbott and the industries are navigating this whole brand plus commerce dynamic. I think the first question that we would like to discuss with you today is how have you been adapting to consumers' behaviors changes during the pandemic? And do you see that this shift will continue to stay after COVID?
I think all of the marketeers out there would agree with me that, the observation through the pandemic would be the same. The behavior change is obvious, right? Because it's been a push. Everyone has to find a solution. For example, different way of shopping, different way of consuming media, different way of finding and understanding about the brand and the products. So the shift is there. And once we understand the shift, we have to really understand how we capture that behavior to serve the consumer better. And at Abbott, we do a lot of test and learn to see, what is the way that we move forward with. And I think I will be able to share more in detail later. But I do see that the change, the shift will be stay in the new normal. Because, before it may be changing because people seeking for convenience, but now it's changed because they don't have the other way. And once it's become the behavior, it will stay.
Thank you, Chị Tâm, for sharing that. So in Facebook internet research, like if you think that in the future when the COVID-19 ended, 8 out of 10, they would agree that they will continue to buy more online than before. So we can definitely expect that the trend will continue to stay, and whatever the brands are doing to get yourself ready to adapt to the change of online shopping, it will be beneficial not only now but also in the future.
One more point I want to add to is an interesting observation. It's not only millennial generation, right, or younger generation, but we do see that it's expand to different group of audience, of user as well, because as I say, because of the change, people have to find solution. And once they do that, they find it more convenient. For example, my mom, right? She used to ask me to order thing online for her, but now she actually doing that by herself, and she enjoying doing that. So I think that behavior will stay with her.
Yes.
Yeah. And also buying the first purchase online previously may be a big consideration, because for online you cannot touch the product. You don't know how to judge the product. But now with good product, a good brand online from good company, users are actually putting more confidence toward the way of purchase online already.
Do you see the same when it comes to nutrition product in Abbott as well? Are people more confident in buying their first nutrition product?
Yeah, we do see that, because I think in the past the percentage of mom buying the first can of nutrition online is much less than nowadays. So now they are even decide to buy their first can online without, like, because they shift toward the new behavior, and it's also because of the situation. They have to buy it online, otherwise they have to wait for a very long time, maybe. So both of that impact the decision of the shopper.
Right. Thank you, Chitam. And I think that now that we have established that the change is there, and there's a need for brands to change as well. And I think Abbott has been one of the company that has embracing that whole brand plus commerce strategy mindset. Could you share a little bit more with the audience here? How has the brand plus commerce strategy been helping your businesses so far?
Yeah. I think, when we observe the change in behavior, what we have to put ourselves into a question is, what should be the strategy change to capture that? And we've been, reshape the thinking on how we do our campaign, so that we can best leverage the moment of impact. For example, if I can give an example, in the past, maybe the marketeer would plan the campaign with the awareness phase coming first. And then after that, they may think of the consideration, and then the trial. But now, at the moment of impact, when the consumer being engaged with the brand and the awareness already, they may be already making a decision to do the trial. So how do we capture that? And I think that puts ourselves toward the shift in strategy of blending the brand and the commerce in the campaign together. Previously, if you think of a consumer journey where they've been made aware of the brand, the product, it may take them a while to go to a shop, seeing the product and make the decision to buy. But now, if we can trigger that decision to buy at the moment where they know about the product, about the brand, about the new news of the brand, they may take an action to buy right away. And that is what we would think of as a make awareness actionable.
Okay, that is very interesting. The idea of make the awareness campaign actionable. I think on the screen right now is actually one of the example campaigns that we have done together, Facebook and Abbott have done together. Could you share a little bit more on the way you approach this, and what do you think about the strategy?
Yeah, so we partner with Facebook to do the pilot for one of our nutrition brand. Where we plan in the awareness part, and together with that, we are boosting the lead generation, meaning trigger the need of some consumer where they want to try the product when they know about the brand ad. And by doing that, we do the test, and we do see the significant outcome of a sale of doing awareness alone and doing the lead chain alone versus the sale that combine awareness and lead chain together. It do have a lift in action intent.
Thank you, Chitam. And I think this is one of the many studies that we have done in Facebook as well. And then we have already learned that by combining brand plus lower funnel campaigns, we can actually manage to increase, for example, top of mind awareness by 7 times versus just running a brand campaign alone. And not only that, so this is one another study that we did in which we combine brand plus a collaborative ads. So Abbott's example was combining brands plus lead generation. This is a study that combining brands plus collaborative ads, and we realized that it has actually helped to lift the omni-channel sales by 1.3 times versus just running collaborative ads alone. So we can really see that there's a halo effect for brands plus commerce when you add them together on both online and offline sales. And we kind of see a direction, a first study to show that when brand ads actually help to drive awareness and trial, the lower funnel ads, when it comes to lead gen or collaborative ads, actually helps to drive loyalties as well. So it has to expand that whole user base that brands would like to target for their campaigns. So because of all the example that Chitam has shared and all the learning that Facebook has put together, we can really see that brand and commerce should be thought of as a pair, regardless of the phase of the campaign, whether it's a launch or whether it's always on. We think that missing any of these at any point in time would actually create a missed opportunities and missed brand resonance for the brand. So that's how we should be thinking of brand plus commerce. So, chị Tâm ơi, now that we have understand that you guys, Abbott, have moved towards that brand plus commerce in your media strategy, I think the question that everybody would have in mind is how best to find the right balance for brand plus commerce in your media plans. How do you know how much money to put in each of these two buckets?
Yeah, that is interesting question. But I have to say though, I don't really have a magical mix for that. I think it's more of a marketeer, when we plan and we do see the opportunity, we have to first put in the percentage of test and learn. And when doing test and learn, we will see what work best, and then we are shifting more the investment toward what is work better during that time. I think the point here is the flexibility in terms of planning and test and learn, and then shifting during the campaign. Because if you think about campaign in the past, when we lay out a campaign, mostly when it go into operation, is stay in this framework. But for digital marketing campaign and for digital marketeer, I think the point is to be curious, to be flexible, to be agile, and we always prepare for our action with the learning of data, because the data centric marketing would provide us with a lot of useful, meaningful insight that guide our action. When you do that, you will be able to see what portion that you shifting toward the bottom funnel, which is the conversion funnel, that best leverage the outcome for your campaign, right? It can be 20%, it can be a little bit less, it can be a little bit more. But the important point is to find the right measurement and really tracking toward that.
Right. I think the key words that I hear from you, Chitam, here is actually the flexibility, right? Being able to be agile and flexibility when it comes to finding the right media plan. There's no magic formula here, to be honest. So it's always about having an open-minded and having that flexibility and test and learn together with with the team, agency, and Facebook to kind of find out the right mix for the campaign. Now that we have kind of guided people to the importance of brands and commerce, guided them on how they should think about budget split, I think a lot of brands would maybe start thinking that, hey, maybe I should do brand plus commerce, because this is such an important topic, but it is so new that maybe all of us are also trying to figure out. So, chị Tâm ơi, do you have any tips to brands that are thinking of or starting the journey of brand plus commerce during this time?
I'm not sure if I would call it tips. I think it's just summary of what we've been doing, test and learn, and what we can share. Right? I think the first and foremost point would be quick and be agile in terms of capturing the change in the behavior, and put that in your thinking toward the change in strategy, digital marketing strategy. Right? That is very important, because that will then guide the next step of how much you want to plan the commercial in. How do you would kind of design the user journey, the consumer journey, say, because for commerce, you have to land them somewhere for them to take action. But it's not about just saying that, oh, I want them to take action. Actually, you have to plan out of now they know about my brand, they know about my product, where they should go to take that action, right? That is important. And I think the third point will be, when is the plan? It has to be a consistent from the point where you design your ad. Your ad should be strong in branding, informative, and has a strong call to action. And that strong call to action would then trigger the action, the desired action of the user, and go lend them to where they can actually take that action, right? And that not all, because the destination where you lend them to, whether it's on your brand website or whether it's on your e-commerce platform or on your own store, it has to be consistent, because if they land there and they don't see consistent information or the call to action that you show to them, then they may not consider that purchase. So all of that have to blend together, have to do a lot of test and learn, and importantly is to measure the outcome to make the decision for your next campaign.
Thank you, Chị Tâm. And I think one of the themes that is consistent when it comes to your advice from the first question is actually being able to measure it, right? To kind of like finding what works.
Yes.
Without measuring, we won't be able to find what works and what doesn't.
So if you see on the left side, there's a pair of informative information about the brand, where we would like the consumer to take the opportunity to learn more via the conference, via the conversation with experts in their fields, right? And then on the other side, consistently is where we would like the consumer to consider the opportunity of trying the product, because after they learn about the product, they hear or they have the conversation with the expert, their consideration may be very high already, and that is where we would like them to take the action to trial the product. And being consistent, I think it's important, as I said before, to make the awareness actionable. The consumer has to be made aware, be informed of their action, and I think that is where the success will lay.
Thank you, Chitam, and I think this is really valuable sharing from Facebook side. We also see the same thing that brand identity and mobile optimized creative is actually improve brand metrics. We had a meta-analysis actually from 35 branded studies with 34 advertisers, and we found that the benefit of mobile optimized creative is actually 2 times higher in building brand awareness lift than non-optimized creative in meta-analysis. So as Chitam shared, when it comes to creative, you should always think about, first of all, consistency between brand and commerce. Second of all, take all opportunities with consumer as a branding opportunity, regardless of whether it is branding ads or commerce ads. Think of the creative as actionable as possible, and also design for mobile optimized creative. I think is those are the 4 things that we can definitely pay attention to when we think of approaching brand plus commerce creative. Thank you, Hidam, so much. And I think that has concluded our discussion today. Today, we have learned that a right balance mix between brand and commerce could give both brand lift in top of mind as well as sales lift a boost as a way for a brand to increase user base. And when approaching that, you should always think about a flexibility mindset, seasonality, as well as think of your brand identity, consistency of brand identity, and actionable content when it comes to brand and commerce. Thank you, Chitam, very much for sharing us these valuable insights that all of the business can learn and adapt themselves to thrive during this difficult time. And thank you, everyone, for watching.
I should say thank you for the opportunity to share, right? And I wish everyone stay well, stay healthy, while grabbing the opportunity, to do new things for your work.
Thank you, Chitam. I wish you all safe as well, and wish Abbott continued success in the future. And to everyone, stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentations, Mrs. Ying Ngo and Mrs. Tâm Nguyen. Ladies and gentlemen, and next session, that is Smartest Vietnam Shortlist Winner 2021.